Hello, class of 2024 and 2025 and your families. My name is Jared Mills. I'm the new counselor here, and I was hoping would be able to do this in person, but uh, just wanted to take some time do to introduce myself to you and just do like a brief presentation over kind of some expectations for graduation, as well as just some general overview things that I think are important for you to know as you are moving through your high school career. So, really, parents, this is going to be geared towards you, parents and guardians, because students, I'll be meeting with you on an individual or in a large group class setting. I've already met with a good number of ninth graders, but the 10th graders will be meeting with you coming up in October to go over this same information. But parents, I wanted you to have it as well so that you could be aware of why we're doing what we're doing as far as course selection goes and then what to expect for graduation. So I'll have some links in the email that this video will come out with. So, of attachments that I'll talk about in the presentation. But just with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you here. Um, so, welcome to high school. I know some of you have been here, but it's been a little different. And then ninth graders, you're fresh in the building, you've made it through middle school, so welcome. I know it's been a unique couple years, but hopefully we're starting to get back to kind of getting into the normalcy of a normal high school uh, career, kind of going through the motions in a good way. So just want to take some time to introduce you to my two partner counselors. So Miss Jane Watkins is going to be splitting the first half of the alphabet for ninth grade, and then she's also our 12th grade counselor. We have Miss Vertrisa Lucius, who is splitting the ninth grade H through P, and then she's got the 11th graders, and then myself have the latter part of the alphabet, and then I take the 10th graders by myself. And I'll say we split the ninth grade, but really, we if a ninth grader comes in with a question and one of us isn't available or one of us is just there, we're happy to answer any questions that they have and help them in any way that we can. Just a couple of points here. So, our office is in the main Shades Valley campus building. If you're coming in up the stairs there, we're just to the right. Um, so, what do we do? We do a lot of different things here in the counseling office. We always say that we cover academic, social, emotional needs, and then post secondary planning. That's kind of what we do in our office. So, um, if and then how do you request a meeting? You can shoot us an email. Um, we've got our contact information on our website. We also have a Google form where you can request to meet with us. And then we also, of course, have our office phones that you can call us. I know a lot of times I've had it asked, like, can't we just come and see you? And you're more than welcome to stop by and see us. But the issue is, like right now, if you came to meet with me, I'm right in the middle of trying to do a presentation, so I wouldn't be available. And then, like, if I'm ever out in a class or if I'm already meeting with someone, so we just want to respect your time in that way. So parents, if you ever want to meet with us, don't hesitate to reach out and make an appointment. We're happy to do that. We keep traditional office hours that are similar to the school day. So we try to do 7:45 to 3:30. But if you need some time earlier than that or later than that, we understand like work schedules sometimes prevent you from being here during the normal school day. So we're happy to accommodate that. If, just give us a little bit of notice, and we'd be happy to meet with you and help you in any way that we can. So some of the things we're going to kind of talk about today: GPA, credit, transcript, CCRI, ACT, etc. So what does it all mean? So just to get started, what do I need to graduate, or what does my child need to graduate? So 24 total credits is like the magic number. So out of those, they're broken down into these different categories. So we've got your four core classes that you have to have 4 credits in each class. So math, science, English, and social studies or history. And we said then beginning kinesiology is the new name, but it's PE is what that is. Career prep and health. So those are required classes that every student has to take for graduation. And then they also have to take 3 credits in a career technical, fine art, or foreign language class. Now, these are either 3 in each category or a combination of 3 out of each. So a career, they can take 1 of each or 2 in one area and 1 in another. They don't all have to be the same. They can be a combination of any. And then then there's going to be 2.5 credits in any other elective area. So that kind of is like a basic overview of exactly what students need to graduate. So just for clarification, a credit is basically when you pass a class for the first time, you get a credit. You can't take a class over again and get a credit for it unless you failed. So if you pass the class and you're going to get the credit, you can't take it again and get another credit for it. And then every student has an opportunity to earn 9 credits per year. So I've got an example schedule right here, and you'll see A day, B day. We share a campus with JCIB, and so JCIB has an A day, B day. And I'll have some JCIB students on this, hopefully watching this video as well. But just so you know, you've got 9 credits that are available to you. Our third block is what we call our skinny block, and it lasts all year long. So it's S1 right here and S2, that's semester 1, semester 2. And then this student is a 9th grade student, and they're taking their PE or beginning kinesiology and their career prep. So they're getting their 2 required electives out of the way. And then he actually could have taken he's in basketball, and he could have that count as his PE credit, but he's chosen to take PE as well. Anyway, just to get back on task here. So he's going to take his English and history first semester, and then math and biology second semester. We try to separate that out, have 2 and 2, but sometimes you'll have a skinny period core academic class, so you may take 3 in a semester, but that isn't as heavy as a load as if you were taking 3 of those full blocks classes. You'll also see that he's taking Spanish 1 next semester. So that's one of his foreign language credits that he's going to get out of the way. But anyway, all that to say, this student and every student has an opportunity to earn at least 9 credits in a year. So you'll see over here how we have 6th and 7th period. So some students are taking their health in a 0 period. So that just means they're doing it all online. They don't have any classroom time specifically devoted to that class. So they do that on their own time, or if they have a study hall or something like that, like, the basketball is going on, they may not have a practice that day or something like that. So then this student could work on their health class if they're taking it during a 0 period. And then this is one of those attached documents that you have. So this is a transcript audit sheet. And I actually do one of these for you every year. So like next year, 9th graders, you'll have one next year, and 10th graders, I'm working on yours right now. But what I do is I go through and I look at what you've taken, and then what you are taking, and then just make sure you're on track to graduate. So if there's ever any concern or anything like that, like you failed a couple classes and you're getting behind, I'm going to meet with you. My goal is to meet with every student, but sometimes you're not here or I'm not here and we run out of time. but I'm really going to focus on those ones that are behind, or if you've got a goal in mind whether you're trying to graduate early or something like that, then I'll definitely try to meet with you or definitely am going to meet with you in person. So this breaks down exactly what credits you need and how it breaks down year wise for what you'll need to graduate. So you'll see right here, you've got your English, math, science, and social studies, then those required electives, and it says career prep or career prep A and B. We only offer career prep. We don't split it up like that. Some schools um, that maybe have a 7 period day, they'll offer half a credit career prep A, half a credit for career prep B. We don't do that. So this is just how we set it up here. Let's see here. As you're looking over this transcript audit, you'll see endorsement pursuing type. We're going to talk about that more in detail in just a little bit, but it has over here the descriptions of the endorsements right here. And then we also have a CCRI. That was one of the words that we talked about at the beginning. We're also going to talk about that more in detail, but really just wanted you to focus on these credits and how they kind of balance out here. All right, I did want to make a note about athletic eligibility. So you have to pass 6 classes with an average of a 70. And 4 of those have to be your core classes. So that's going to be in the last 2 semesters. So now for ninth grade, it's a little different, but this is going to be for 10th grade moving forward. So as a ninth grader, you have to pass 4 core classes and then 2 additional classes, and only one of those can be a PE credit. And the reason why they specify one of a PE has to be only one can be a PE credit is because if you think back to that student's schedule, he was taking 2 basketball classes, and those are PE classes. So if he passed his 4 core classes but didn't pass another elective, he would be ineligible because he had 3 PE credits if you're thinking back to it. So even if he passed those 3, he would be ineligible if he didn't pass one of those other elective classes. But I just like to point that out because it is something that's set in stone that's controlled by the state that we actually have to report to the state. I just wanted to bring that out. So here are some things that I encourage everyone to think about when they're selecting classes. So parents, when we send those schedule selection sheets home, you can kind of talk with your child a little bit more, and have a little bit more knowledge about. So first of all is graduation requirements. So that's why if you're looking at your scheduled selection sheet in the spring, you'll see the first thing that we have on there are your required core classes. So we want you to definitely consider that first because that's our main goal is for you to graduate. Then as you're thinking about those, we want you to think about the course type. So advanced placement or AP, IB, and dual enrollment. So those are the main 4 class types that we have. So in 9th and 10th grades, you don't have a lot of AP options. They're all advanced options. And then those are kind of what I would consider to be classes preparing you to take AP courses in 11th and 12th grade. So if you're thinking about taking AP classes in 11th and 12th grade, definitely be looking at advanced courses. We do have AP History 1, but you have to take AP 1 and AP 2 to get the opportunity to take the advanced placement exam as an 11th grader. Dual enrollment classes you can take as a 10th grader, and we'll talk about the difference between an AP and a dual enrollment class in just a second. All right, so another thing to consider is the endorsements. And I know I keep saying we'll talk about those in a little bit. We'll talk about those in a little bit. Well, we're going to talk about endorsements in a little bit. But you want to be looking at, like if you're thinking about doing a CTE endorsement, then you want to take classes that are career tech classes. Now, career tech classes, we'll have them designated in the schedule selection sheet, but those are like our business classes, our automotive classes, JROTC is a CTE class, engineering. So those are all our CTE classes, health science. Then fine arts. Fine arts class is going to be our band classes, our visual arts classes, photography, different things like that, and then the advanced academic endorsement. NCAA eligibility is another thing to consider. So that is something that I'll help you with, and we'll if you are considering becoming an NCAA athlete, you have specific math and science classes that you have to take. You also have to take specific foreign languages, not specific ones, but you have to take 2 foreign language credits. So we'll look at that, and we'll go through what's called the NCAA clearinghouse, and um, that's a software program, for lack of a better term, that helps you determine if you're eligible for NCAA. And then college or career preparation. So if you're preparing to go to college, we'll talk about the different options. If you're preparing for a specific career, like we have students that go to the Academy of Craft Training if they're considering a career in construction. We have our technical academy here that has JROTC, art, and then automotive classes. So those are all things that you want to look at when you're preparing, or when you're selecting your classes. And then the final point in here is your interests or want to try something new. I hope that My hope is that you're interested in all these things, but I also understand too that you maybe want to try some art or try something in because with automotive, because you want to try it as a hobby, or maybe you already have a hobby and you just want to do it. I definitely want to encourage you to do that, because you can't, just like a well balanced life as in the future as an adult, you have to have hobbies and different things that help you be um, that give you some downtime. I guess the best way of doing it. So those are the things that we encourage students to consider when they're looking at their courses. All right, so here's the endorsements. So this is laid out in our curriculum guide, but this is what our endorsements are here. So advanced academic is the first one that we have here, and all of these, if you read that little description, students have to have 30 credits with a minimum of a 3.0 GPA. So 30 students have the opportunity to earn 36 credits. So uh, through their 4 years, so they've got plenty of time to earn the 30 credits. But then they have to do these things bulleted for the advanced academic diploma. So at least 3 AP, IB, or dual enrollment classes, 1 additional math beyond algebra 2 with stats. So that's again when we're looking at schedule selection, what we need to look at there. And I'll ask when we're doing schedule selection, if you're considering an endorsement, I'll help your students navigate that. So biology, chemistry, and 2 additional sciences. So that's it. That's basically everybody that has an opportunity to do that. And then at least 2 years of a foreign language. This is the one that is a question I get a lot. Do I have to have 2 foreign languages? And I always respond with, well, that depends. What are you thinking about doing? So these don't have to be consecutive years. They don't have to be, and they don't have to be in the same language. So you can take a year of Spanish and a year of French. And then my IB friends, they have German that they can take as well. So, and I know IB, you'll do your languages a little bit different. Dr. Miller can help you with that. But just know you have to take 2 years of a foreign language in addition to those other requirements. So fine arts, you have to take 4 electives that are fine arts electives. So that's pretty self-explanatory there. And most of my students that are in marching band are going to knock this out of the park as long as they get 30 credits and a 3.0 GPA. And you can also have multiple endorsements. So you can have a advanced academic and a fine arts. And if you're really on it, you might even have the opportunity to do CTE, so you could get all 3. But that's a little bit more challenging. And especially knowing, like, if you're in the band or something like that, that normally takes up 2 credits or 2 blocks a day. So, I mean, not a day, but a year. Uh, the CTE, same thing with that fine art. So just do the 30, 3.0, and then the four electives here. Here's our grade point average scale. I wanted to put this in there because I wanted it to just be absolutely clear what our GPA scale is. So traditional classes, this is your scale to the left. And then in the middle are the advanced level courses. You get a half quality point added onto the final grade as long as you make a C or higher. And then AP, IB, and dual enrollment, you get a full quality point added to your average at the end. So here's just a brief overview of GPA. It's going to follow you all of high school. So the work that your child is doing now, and I know I keep going back and forth like I'm talking to the students and talking to the parents, so please forgive me. But parents, just know it follows your students all the way through high school. Um, and the GPA is important because it's normally a one of the higher criteria that a university will consider for admission. It also has to do with eligibility for high school athletics as well as some other clubs. I know all of our academies require 2.5 GPA. Then, if they're doing dual enrollment classes, same thing, 2.5 GPA. So, it's very important if you're thinking, or GPA period is important to keep high because it shows your level of achievement. But it's important to stay on top of it because it's hard to bring it back up. Um, when I was in the class, the when I was in the ninth grade classes, I did this little GPA practice with them. And basically, what I was trying to show them was you can have a good grade, four good grades, but if you do poorly in the fifth class, it's going to bring your GPA down. So, the way that a GPA is calculated is out of that 4 points. So, you'll add four, then three here, three for the third, and three for the fourth. So, that's a total of, doing my math here, 13. And then you divide that, and for the F, you get a zero. But then you divide that by the number of classes you're taking, and that gets you your GPA. And this student would have had a 2.6 GPA. Now, before this F, their GPA would have been closer to 3.5. So an F can really hurt a grade. So students, if you're listening to this and you haven't had an opportunity to tell you, it's important to focus on your classes and give it your 100% full attention so that you're not having to catch up on your GPA. All right, so AP versus dual enrollment. Which ones should I choose? So I'm not going to tell you which one because there's pros and cons to both. There's positives and negatives to both. So let's look at AP first. So on the pro side, it's cheaper than a dual enrollment class. They're taught on campus by our high school instructors. There are more credits available. Really, I say more credits available. They're normally pretty close to being identical as far as their options. We do have some studio art, or some art classes that are AP that aren't available for dual enrollment. So I guess if we're specifically teasing those out, yeah, there are more AP classes available, credits available, but they're pretty close. And then that offers a CCRI, and the CCRI stands for Career College and Career Readiness Indicator. So that's if you pass the AP exam with a 3 or higher, you get that CCRI. But that leads me to a con. So you could have aced the AP class, and then you go to take the exam at the end to get your college credit, and you don't do well on it. You will not get college credit for it. You'll get the high school credit and you'll get your quality point, but you won't get the college credit for it. I put in here also a con being taught on campus by our high school instructor. So, I mean, all the positives that come with knowing the teacher, knowing the people you're around can be a negative. If you know the professor, know the teacher, maybe one that you don't get along with. And there may be students in the class that you cut up with or don't get along with. So it may be a distraction, is what I'm getting at there. And then you only earn your CCRI when you pass that AP exam. So that's why that's a negative there. And then the test can cost $95 each. So I know it's cheaper, but it still does have a cost associated with it. Now, those costs can be supplemented if you're on a free and reduced price lunch. Those costs can be supplemented and brought down significantly, but it's still not zero. There's still a little bit of a cost associated with it. All right, so here's our dual enrollment. So here are the pros. We have I put in here 2 free classes per year, but it's actually 2 per semester. So those are completely covered. There are some book costs associated, and that just depends on the course, but it's normally not too bad. And if you have a friend that's taken the class, you may be able to get them used from that friend, or even find it on Amazon, etc., or rent them, however you want to do that. So those classes are taught by college professors or on campus or virtually. We've seen a lot of virtual. I think now that I'm thinking about it, all of my dual enrollment students now are virtual. They're doing them, on the computer. We have study halls built into their schedule because they're taking a dual enrollment class, so it counts for a credit here. So we give them a study hall, and they get the opportunity to work on it here. So it's a it's a good change off to where they get some time to work on it here, but they also have the opportunity to get college credit. And as long as you make a C or higher, you're guaranteed to get that college credit. And that's where you get the CCRI is if you earn the college, if you pass the class, you've earned a college credit, so you get the CCRI. Now, the costs are substantially higher than an AP class, and this is assuming you did not get the Jeff Coed scholarship. So the cost can be upwards of $600, just south of $600, and that's not including the book fee. The students do have to apply, but as long as they have a 2.5 GPA, they're pretty much at minimum. So to get in, so as long as they have that, though, they're pretty solid to get in. A 3.0 is required for like Auburn First, I believe, and Alabama Early College. So those are the higher GPA. Now these go on your high school or go on your college transcript as well as your high school transcript. So the reason why I put that as a con is because sometimes there are first year, like freshman scholarships that are available only to those students that have never taken a college course. So sometimes that will go away or that'll be gone if you've already taken some classes. But the benefit if you have the Jeff Coed scholarship, and let's say you took 12, you got 12 credits, or you had 4 classes, which is 12 credits once you get to college, then you got a semester free or a semester covered. So it balances out if you're not going to get the scholarship, but you've already got a significant amount of college done. So, and I also put in the con, taught off campus or virtually, because it is college professors, and sometimes they have a tendency to, and they've been good with my kids, but sometimes they'll have a tendency to be like, well, you're a college student, you need to worry about your own work, I'm not going to remind you. And then I know my first online class did not go well because I didn't manage my time well. So it does require someone with a little bit more responsibility and a little bit more dedication, which most of the time isn't an issue, but sometimes it does run into some problems. So students, just make sure, or parents, if you've got students in there, you may have to keep on them a little bit more about this. We check in with them, and the colleges are good to tell us if a student's failing. But anytime we've got multiple people reminding the students, hey, you've got work to do, hey, make sure you're doing your work, it's helpful. So CCRIs, what's in it for me? Because they are required for graduation, but you can get a waiver if you had an extreme circumstance. but I am a firm believer that they're important. So here's kind of where what my spiel is, so to speak. So there's 6 ways to show that you've earned a CCRI. And really, it's an opportunity for you to add an additional level of, hey, I took my high school education seriously and I did well. So the first is an ACT qualifying score. So there's 4 subtests or 4 parts to the ACT, and if you make a qualifying score on any one of those sections, I think it's a 23 in science, and 18 in math, a 21 in English, and a 20 in I'm forgetting one. That sounds well. I thought I had them handy, but anyway, if we need to, I'll know what I'll have them somewhere so I can look at it. But just make sure if you're doing that, that means that just shows like you're probably on your way to go to college. So that's showing the college that, hey, I'm ready to take college courses and be successful. Work keys, that is a class that you will, or a test you'll take as a senior, and this is a more work based tests. So there's graphic literacy, reading for understanding, and then applied math. So those are more like stuff you would use in a technical career, in a technical class, or I'm sorry, technical field like manufacturing or engineering, something like that. But you have to have at least there on those 3 sections, you have to have at least a 4 on all 3 of those for that to be a qualifying score. So AP, IB qualifying score. So again, at the end of those courses, you take an exam, and if you make a minimum of a 3, then you earn a CCRI, and that also shows. Well, first of all, you get college credit, so that's more money in your pocket, but or less money you have to spend, however you want to say it. But it also shows, hey, I took in what I learned and was able to apply it through a test. Military enlistment. So if you're thinking about joining the military or any branch of service, this is another way to show that I've taken advantage of my high school career and I'm going to use it to get me employed, because all of our military service require a high school diploma or a high school equivalency. So if you're able to enlist as a high school student, it's a good opportunity to just show like I've done what I needed to do. College credit attainment. So that's going to be dual enrollment. That's again just showing doing well in a dual enrollment class. And then a career tech credential. So all of our career tech classes offer an opportunity to earn a national certification. So, for example, in our business classes, they have Microsoft Office specialty certifications that you can earn. So it just those are things you can take and put on a resume and show, hey, I know what I'm doing, and somebody is going to be able to pick you up and expect you to understand how to use Excel or PowerPoint or Word, wherever you got your certification, or whatever fields you got your certification in. So a CCRI not only shows you're ready, but it also means more money for you. So that could either be through scholarships, it could be through a higher wage, it could be if you've got college credit now. I mean, it's something you're not going to have to pay for in the future. So it is a great opportunity to earn more money or have more money through scholarships. So they're really important, and I firmly believe they're something that can help as far as being beneficial after high school. So that's the end of my presentation there. I just wanted to again say thank you for spending some time with me, and I really appreciate the opportunity to kind of introduce myself to you. I wish it could have been in person, but we're just trying to be overly cautious. If you do have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You'll be able to respond to the email that this link is sent in, or you'll call me, set up an appointment. We've just started a new Twitter feed. So if you use Twitter, that's another opportunity for you to respond. Our Twitter handle is SV, like as in Shades Valley, SVIB. So Shades Valley IB underscore counseling. So just follow us there. We'll be posting some updates and different things like that. But thank you so much for your time, and don't hesitate to reach out. And we'll see y'all soon.